so what are we doing publicly? They're saying we're not going to recognize. Fair enough. I'll concede to that point.
What
Materially,
stop them from ending that support?
no, but this is public relations, isn't it? Publicly, they won't accept it. But materially, when it comes to the, when it comes to the foundation or the crux of the matter, they're supporting it militarily. They're aiding and abetting it. They're financially investing in it. So what have they got left publicly to say? Oh, okay, that's all that is left. To be fair, all that is left from them is to say that okay, we accept Israel, or we acknowledge that they exist, or we're going to have diplomatic relations. Everything else is already hunky-dory. It's already, it's already in the process. Investments are going through. Some of the biggest arms manufacturers in Israel, the bombs that are being dropped on Gaza, the aeroplanes that are being used on Gaza, the companies that are building this technology, half of them are financed by the GCC.
And we don't do it.
So how can we say they don't accept it?
I don't know if they're financed by 30, 40, 50 million illegal immigrants. I did say this earlier, like multiple times.
They invest heavily in defense.
So what you said earlier, not to take them at face value, and for like 20 minutes now, I've been saying I don't take anyone at face value. I look at their motivation. And for the Saudis, no, the Saudi MBS doesn't want anything to do with the Palestinians. The Saudi family, has a disdain for Palestinians. I think it's, I don't want to get into why, but however, the Saudi people and the Islamic world, if Saudi Arabia wants to be a credible player within the Islamic world, being the representative of the Islamic world, that's how they see themselves.
I think that's all changing, Edward.
That ship is long sailed.
2032
That ship is long sailed. Saudi doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, it's okay. No, they don't care about this.
They don't care about it anymore. They don't care about.
You gotta find a woman.
They don't care about keeping face anymore. Those days where you needed
why are you saying this? Why are you saying it? Like, where's your, what are you pointing to that makes you think they don't care? Because MBS did say that my own people would kill me if I don't.
They would show some freaking response right in the beginning when everything was in the air. People were getting all flustered. The world was so talking about it. Saudi kept very quiet. And right after that, shook hands under the table. They don't give a shit anymore. And they don't care about representing the Islamic world anymore. I mean, you can see it with the blatant, with the blatant charade and the pageantry of calling Nicki Minaj and your Kanye's, etc., doing concerts by the Kaaba. He doesn't care anymore. MPF became this.
The Islamic world is a very powerful position.
It has brain damage and brain loss from all his intellectual gangbang.
If he cared, he wouldn't invite Nicki Minaj.
Well, I don't think Nicki Minaj is going to affect if, Saudi Arabia is going to be.
They know they've established a very singular principle, going off of the hadith that says, "Do not revolt against the hakim or the ruler."
They're afraid of revolt.
To be a very popular Wahhabi hadith circulating in those circles. Why do you think there was no revolt?
They are
fundamentalist Muslims, and they can do what they want, when they want, and how they want it.
Okay,
That's how
they are afraid of revolt. MBS has said so. MBS has said so. That he doesn't care about the Palestinian cause, but his people do, and they would kill him if he doesn't. If he joins the Abraham Accord. Number two, to give up being the head of the Islamic world, or the representative of the Islamic world, voluntarily just giving it up. There's no way hell that Saudi Arabia would do that. That is a very powerful position. It's a powerful position.
I mean, he wouldn't
okay, in a prison. Why would you give up such a powerful position?
Say that again?
Why would a nation give up such a powerful, geopolitically powerful position?
He's never going to lose it. He has it all set up.
He said they don't care about it anymore.
No, that's idiotic. He has it all secure for himself. If there were to be a revolt, there would have been one a while ago. When he came and said, the Ahadis, I'm going to kind of reduce them, make them, whatever the heck he wanted to do that went against like, the hardcore principles and the fundamentals of this country. He does what he wants. I mean, and he's never going to lose his position as that pseudo-faithful.
So if I may, I think there's a problem with the GCC maybe because there's a little bit of falsity going on here. So the GCC do not
chili's mozzarella sticks.
military hardware to Israel, but it's the other way around where the Israeli defense firms,
Have a bite.
because of the Abraham Accord, have given
My day off as a
the
mukbanger, I started my day off by going to my
No, I
favorite matcha
understand.
place
But
called Donald.
what
I got
I'm
the matcha
saying
and
is
then they
that,
got the chestnut einstein.
if
I
you're
absolutely
wondering,
love their
like,
matcha.
why
It's
these,
high quality and their
pirates
stuff
also
is so
come to
nice.
GCC
And they also have a lot of
to,
turkey. And they also sell
Israeli
pastry. If a strand of your hair was trying this week's crumble
And then
cookies. Starting off, we have a biscuit cheesecake.
whether, I think it was Bahrain or Oman, one of the two. They're the ones who
Oh my God.
everywhere Israel
Have a bite.
defense, right?
That was an out of 10. Up next, we have a raspberry
Not
cupcake cookie.
involved in that one specifically.
Let's unbox the
because,
baby Molly
they-
pocket breads. And these are $50 each.
Not necessarily the way you
Okay,
think.
really the cheap one? Let's get some wing stuff. Okay, I got the garlic parm and the New Mexican street spice. Ranch. Have a bite.
Was the one where Saudi was forced to
I never knew I needed this flavor. Cheese sauce.
Back in 2016, around the 2016 election, and
Let's unbox this $300 blind box. Trying more beautiful dessert.
Middle East, it said you have to invest with Kushner's, all that stuff, whatever. And then I think it was Kuwait that said, no, we're not going to do any of this. GCC and everything. And Trump and the Republicans went on this entire tirade about bombing Kuwait, bombing Kuwait, or it was Qatar, one of the two. And what do you say? It was very stressful for those 4 years about what was going on. Now, with that being said, Trump again, when he does all these dealings, these countries also understand that Trump is so like kind of hostile towards them that if they don't do his bidding, then there's going to be just talks about bombing over and over again. So it's kind of like this really weird song and dance about like how to appease the United States while also being really hands off as well. But that GCC weapons, like F-35 sales, that's strictly and directly from the UAE, and that is under direct supervision of the U.S. as well. None of the other GCCs allow for that to happen, including Saudi Arabia. So that's the problem in that sense. And then they always mix up the information there. As for this whole this whole claim about like how Saudi wants to be like whatever Muslim nation or whatever, it doesn't really help the conversation when we have to understand that we need to look at the substantial facts and the reasoning behind them as to why the actions were taking place. And I solely think that, at least right now, under a Trump administration, a Trump presidency, if I have to look at Saudi Arabia's involvement with the GCC, and if it has to do something with Israel, I know 100% it is because Trump has this entire thing about like going banana modes on them, and they have to kind of respond to that. Because under every other presidency, they did not respond in kind when another U.S. president requested the same thing out of them.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully a ceasefire will come soon. But,
I have a feeling that the UAE will be very problematic in this whole ceasefire thing, and it just takes Israel's sides completely, because the UAE has sold out the Palestinians completely.
well, it was the UAE and Egypt, or was it Egypt and the UAE that Israel was talking about coming in initially to transition to a new government in Gaza?
I thought that was the UAE and Bahrain.
No, it wasn't Bahrain. I don't remember Bahrain being involved.
Bahrain is my views on Bahrain is they're genuinely an asshole where they go ahead and act nice, but then behind like closed doors, they do some of the most evil shit.
Yeah, but the name doesn't sound familiar. I think it was UAE and Egypt, I want to say.
What was the claim? What were you saying? Sorry.
This is a couple of weeks ago when they were saying, it was I believe it was the UAE and Egypt going in after the ceasefire and taking charge of Gaza and until it transitions into a new government, so taking it away from Hamas. Hamas responded with whoever comes in would have to ask us for permission first, or else they'll be treated as enemies. They didn't say no. They just said, you have to deal with us first. You have to deal with us also. I thought it was Egypt and the UAE that was floated around. I could be wrong though.
Also, I'm just kind of curious because I was hearing this a little bit in the background. But how did Wahhabism come into play?
Not good as mentioning that. I don't know how much Wahhabism has to play in this because Saudi Arabia has, been for the last decade neutralizing the Wahhabi movement in Saudi Arabia. Not that it's gone, but they've been actively ousting Wahhabi people from positions of power. Things like that.
Saudi Arabia actually was not neutralizing just Wahhabis. Saudi Arabia, like as my previous colleagues, they mentioned earlier, they want to turn the page on the ancient image of Saudi Arabia as a reference, as a leader of the Muslim world. They don't want that. They don't want any of that. They want to change that, how can I say this? That stereotype that Saudi Arabia is basically the leader and the main representative of the Islamic world. They just it's MBS basically. He's, so inspired by, the advancement, according to them, it's advancement of the UAE. And at some level, he sees, the Emirati leaders as his competitors, even though both countries, they are, allies, and they led a lot of, coups, whether in Yemen or the attempt to occupy Qatar, at least on 3 occasions. The last one was in 2017. He's just like, he wants to change everything. Okay, he's a guy who was raised as, the spoiled boy. He practically had no serious education. He's basically the loser child who wanted to shine up, and he made it, clear that okay, we don't want Wahhabism, we want that, modest Islam, okay, that is, which is open to all religions and all, ethnic groups and so on. But it's not really that, again here, I'm going to support the thing being said earlier, that Saudi Arabia is secret, is never Saudi Arabia in public, never. There's 2 faces, there's 2 images of Saudi Arabia, okay? There's public Saudi Arabia, the one, okay, as he mentioned, we want a peaceful Islam, okay, that is can deal with everyone, and we deal with everyone, that's me, including Zionists, because for them, they want the picture to the Arab world that, there's no difference between Zionism and Judaism, which is something that people like who are maybe well educated about the topic would probably like say, yo, it's crazy. Like Zionism and Judaism, like even like Jews themselves, they would say the same. There's like a huge difference between Zionism and Judaism, and Zionism would never, definitely in any case, represent Judaism. But these guys, these idiots, including Sisi, by the way, President of Egypt, MBS, the other guy, like of UAE, the people like leading Bahrain and all these, traitors, they would all do the same. They would all like, do the same marketing, trying to, like show Zionism as the same as Judaism. Okay, so if we like talk about an Islam that is open to everyone, okay, and everyone is welcome, and we have no problem with Christians or Jews. Yeah, it's okay to have a problem with Christians, but when it's Jews, yeah, that would include Zionists basically. So that's the picture, and that was like a lot of people. I'm not sure if Hamas said that publicly, but a lot of analysts on Al Jazeera, for instance, they mentioned that when Hamas launched the war back in October 2023, they were actually did that because Saudi Arabia was in talk with talks with Israelis about a normalization agreement, to follow the steps of the UAE and Bahrain, and they were even targeting and visualizing similar talks with Oman in the future. If you pay attention to news in the last, let's say 3 to 4 weeks, there's like a very controversial picture. It was like on the streets of Tel Aviv, a very big picture. I have it on my phone even because it was really shocking. Showing, those leaders, Benjamin Netanyahu with Trump, and around them, some leaders, including you, MBS, the Omani Sultan, okay, Tariq bin Haytham, okay, the new Syrian president, Sisi, the King of Jordan, all the guys that they think they are the good ones, and if you are a good one according to the Israelis, according to Zionists, you know to which club you belong. So it's not a secret that actually Saudi Arabia.
It's also not like black and white, like how you paint it. There's something called balance of power, and you think people that embedded in politics for 70 freaking years in that region wouldn't understand what America is for the Israelis and how they are protective of it? People that went into wars on several freaking occasions, like the people in power, either Sisi or MBS or MBZ or all of these people, they also understand the balance of power and what kind of capabilities that they can.
I'm not talking about that. I was answering Edward about the Saudi Arabia, okay?
Yes.
If they would accept, a normalization agreement,
They would never.
regardless of the state.
Oh no, but I wasn't asking that question. The claim that I made was, and I don't know who brought it up first. I was saying that Saudi Arabia would be crazy. They would be insane to give up.
Never.
No, not that. They would not give up their position as the so-called representative of the Islamic world. That's not a position that they would give up, because that's a very, very powerful position geopolitically, especially when it comes to soft power. And it's also, being, what's the king of Saudi Arabia? The official title is, custodian of the two holy sites of Islam. So this is directly tied to legitimacy of the royal family. of the monarch in Saudi Arabia.
What they did, they already did. They gave up on that position.
Well, to who? To what? Zionists? Now you're gonna tell me Medina, Mecca belong to Zionists?
In front, in the eyes of Arabs, okay, they had no shame when Gaza was bombed. They had this festival.
Okay, but you're doing something totally different here. I'm saying that Saudi Arabia, okay, their legitimacy depends on being the custodians or caretakers of the two holiest sites of
They
Islam.
have their position secured, Edward. I'm telling you, they have their position secured. They know.
It's secured.
If the Muslim world wanted to revolt, they would have done
We're not talking about
a long time
revolting.
ago when they were partying.
No one
While the
mentioned it.
children were being killed.
Nobody
No one
mentioned
said a
revolt.
word.
No one is saying revolting. I'm saying the legitimacy of the Saudis is dependent, and I don't know why everybody's arguing with me about this. This is really basic.
They have to
This is
established
basic.
already. They can do whatever they want.
No, this is basic.
Oh, they can.
Not just Saudi. You guys are both completely wrong.
Let me just mention something quickly.
Okay, but you're okay. That's fine.
Can I mention something quickly? In the past, every Saudi king had a title called Khadim al-Haramain al-Sharifain, that's been the servant of the two holy places of Islam. That title they gave up. They gave up that
They
title.
did not give up the title. What do you mean? The Saudi king did not give up the title.
The Saudi king is no longer called Khadim Haramain. The only kings, first, it began with King Fahd. He was the first one to adopt the title. So there were there were like 3 or 4 kings before him. Okay, then came King Fahd, following the revolution that happened in Mecca. Okay, I remember. I don't remember. Like it was. I think in the 70s.
And Jordan.
What? Yeah, Juhayman revolution. So he decided to have that title in order to give himself the legitimacy you are talking about. But currently, they stopped doing that. Don't care. Do you know, like Islamically again, and from a historic perspective, that title was specific to the Khalifa. Okay, so and since the fall of Khalifa, like a lot of royal families, a lot of monarchs, they wanted desperately to be the president of Islam. So the royal family of Morocco, they call their king Amir Mu'mineen. That's mean the prince of help the people here, prince of believers or the leader of believers. Same thing in Jordan. They call themselves.
Wait, do you have anything that says that the Saudi king Salman has abdicated his responsibility for the two holy sites of Islam?
Actually, Edward, I can prove the complete opposite, because here's the thing. Well, hold on. I'm gonna actually speak with facts now. Because this whole what do you say, thinking whatever MBS is supposedly doing, that's not factual at all. So the custodian of the two holy mosques, yes, it was first formalized. It was King.
In 1986.
Yeah. King Fahd, sorry, I don't remember the name of the order of times. Yeah, but it was King Fahd, right? And then there was a King Abdullah
after him.
Yeah,
and
there was King Abdullah after him, and Salman. Yeah. So the thing is, they all still kept the title. However, in 2023, Saudi Arabia went ahead and added 2 titles onto this. So one that was established in, I think, the 2010s, and one that is being established currently right now. One being the presidency of affairs for the two holy mosques, and then the general authority, right? The reason why I remember this is when NBS was trying to argue this point about wanting to become the authority of Islam, he went ahead and called Iran, or the Ayatollah, the modern day Hitler, several times over, right? He even said that he designed his state solely for the fact that the president at the time, I think it was Obama at the time, to actually a kind of understanding
Just
where
don't
they,
ignore what you're saying that in context the Arab Spring. The Arab Spring was an earthquake to the whole region. That's why we are suffering from what we're suffering now because of the Islamic Revolution, or brought the idea of political Islam into the picture.
yeah, but that's a second point for now. I'm just trying to address what Narjis and Tariq is saying, and it's just like, this is completely opposite of what Edward was saying. Edward is completely right on this, where there's a lot of facts that support this narrative that I've pointed out, and Edward's completely right. I think the problem here is just that there's just so much speculation as to what could be
because of the actions of Saudi, the MBS's actions. But we did establish we shouldn't look at what Saudi Arabia does publicly, at face value versus what they do internally. And can I just point out real quick, Sam, and you can go back and, when you mentioned Iran, so Iran is actually one of the major variables here regarding Saudi Arabia not giving up the claim of, and strengthening the claim of, being the representative of the Islamic world, because Iran wants to be the representative of the Islamic world. And they're it's not really a competition. Well, they're in competition. However, it's not a competition that Iran could win. However, but at the same time, it is still enough of a threat to the Saudi royal family to where that they would actively want to strengthen their position as the supreme leaders of basically the Islamic world.
It's not even a competition. You're talking about Shias and Sunnis. They consider each other.
Yeah, Shias and Sunnis.
It's not even a competition.
No,
there's only that many minority Shias in the region.
Shias in the region, Iran, over 90 million people, plus the Shias outside of Iran. These are all still Muslims, and they still fall under the purview of the King of Saudi Arabia. If he's
30% of the population in Saudi is Shiites.
70?
Google, sir.
Oh, okay. I was like 70. But
Bahrain is Shia, Qatar is Shia.
But Iranian Shias, though, they fall under the purview of the Saudi king, because the king is the custodian. This is his official title of the two holy sites of Islam, and the Shias still, perform Hajj and consider them the two holy sites of Islam. Therefore, they fall under the Saudi king's purview when it comes to Islam, or Islam. That's what I'm saying, Mike.
And to add to your point, Edward, right? The thing is that the Ayatollah, especially even the first Ayatollah, I forget his name. He's even pointed out the entire idea that the Persian empires have always wanted to take a hold of the Khulafa title or the Khalifa title, and they always talk about reigniting the Khalifa. Yeah, under them. So now, this whole struggle between the Saudi Arabian kingdom and the Iranian government, there's a reason why they point fingers at each other most of the time. Exactly what Edward has to say. Because you're trying to install a caliphate under one of their names, and whoever is the most victorious out of this ends up going ahead and controlling the entire Islamic narrative. It's something Saudi Arabia doesn't want to give up. Look at the way Saudi Arabia is even responding in 2025. I'll highlight some actions that Saudi Arabia has done, right? Saudi Arabia, it has went ahead and decided that it wanted to be allies with the United States. Many people questioned why. Well, one of the things was they understood, and this was actually something spoken about within the Saudi government, they understood that if they were in constant war with the United States or a constant struggle with the Zionist regime or anything like that, then they would basically be on a gigantic back foot when it comes to the entire idea of them being the general authority, which they've been trying to establish ever since King Fahd made the custodian title.
about to talk to her.
What's that?
I'm gonna dig it.
A year or so ago, he was heavily pushing for Christian nationalism and making fun of him for it. And first of all, he's like, he married a woman and he's raising her kids. He's a fucking cuck. There's a lot of things I'm sorry, I don't want to change it about him.
No, I just like when he destroys OnlyFans models. It's fun watching.
Yeah, but it's easy work.
I mean, he did pretty good against the chick from Jubilee, black chick with the dreadlocks, or the braids, whatever.
I mean, talking down to uneducated black people is not really that difficult either. I mean, he's Charlie Kirk, debate actual college students.
You may not like. I love Ben Shapiro, and he does the same thing. When you watch him debating, I mean, he just destroys them. And also, like when he did it at Oxford, I guess it was Oxford, Cambridge.
Yeah,
he was amazing.
Charlie Kirk did Cambridge. That was really, really good.
But you have, I mean, Ben Shapiro's a good debater. He graduated from, I believe, Harvard Law. I mean, he could have easily outclassed these college students.
Yeah, but
I mean, it was funny to watch.
You don't have to have a Harvard degree in order to be a good debater. Like, he is just a good debater.
Well, not that you have to have a Harvard degree. I mean, he's I would say he's a lot more intelligent and verbally gifted than 99% of the population, and that really helps.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Wait, you're understanding why Jews are successful now, Pepe?
When did I say it?
It's a joke, Pepe. I'm just joking.
Abby, did you see when Michael Knowles and Charlie Kirk debated Catholicism?
No.
And oh my gosh, and they're like friends. So it was really, really awesome hearing them. Like they were like dunking on each other like in good faith. That one is really, really good. And it's combo. And Ben Shapiro did that with Michael Knowles as well.
Wait, I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't Michael Knowles work for him?
Michael Knowles works for
Or does he work for Prager?
he works for it's with Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, so he works for the
The
Daily...
one Daily Wire. Yeah.
The Daily Wire is Ben Shapiro's
That's bad.
company.
How great was that movie they put out? Am I racist? Like, I assume have you guys ever seen it?
No.
Matt Walsh.
Oh my god! If you haven't, you've got to download this movie. It's beyond.
Good.
Oh,
It's so good.
Abby, did you ever watch Ben Shapiro when he did the interview with the British, older guy on the British television on BBC?
Not here.
No, it was the older, heavy-set guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of one of those like old school, reporters where he doesn't really take. He's actually a little more, I guess, conservative minded, but he'll attack like conservative ideas and also progressive ideas just to like get to the facts, and try to like push back on it. And fucking Shapiro went out there and he like crashed out and like got pissed off and like just got up and walked out of the interview while they were on live television and shit. Yeah, it was the only time I've seen Shapiro crash out.
Yeah, because there are specific things that all of these personalities do in terms of debate. And the guy was, I've seen that interview clown, and the guy was just having none of it. and Ben Shapiro didn't know what to do. And that was like at least 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I think now.
Yeah, Andrew Neil. It's Andrew Neil destroys Ben Shapiro at BBC interview.
So really, Alan, what was the name of? I'm losing it. The two guys. I'm going to date myself in age. That it was Buckley and who did he used to? Was it Gorby Dahl? He debated.
Possibly, yeah. William F. Buckley. I forget.
I feel like it was Gorby Dahl, but maybe.
Yeah.
I've watched a bunch of his debates.
Hey, Abby, I sent you the back channel.
Okay.
I mean, those were great. And then, do you remember the SNL did the spoof on Jane, You Ignorant Slut? And that was off of Shayna Alexander, right?
Point counterpoint. Yeah. God.
But that used to be great. I mean, they used to have debates on TV. Like, pretty. I mean,
Yeah, you know what's a good debate is Peter Hitchens and Christopher Hitchens arguing about religion and God. That was, if you haven't seen that, that's a really good debate. Because at the time, Peter was very, liberal, almost, he was a Marxist, I believe, and now Peter Hitchens has completely changed his tune in terms of his view on capitalism and communism and Marxism and all of those, the ilks that Marxism spawned.
I am curious though, like you brought up capitalism, what I don't understand is a lot of people, like quote unquote conservatives, it's almost like they think capitalism can do no wrong and that they'll like get on their knees and suck off the billionaire class. And I don't know, just because at least they're not communist, I don't quite get it. If there's the defense of capitalism, even when I would say even that's still like disgusting in a way.
Well, look, Pepe, let's make it simple, okay? The right and capitalists idealize the rich and the billionaire class, whereas the left, they idealize the poor and the downtrodden, someone like George Floyd. Now, if you gotta suck off somebody's dick, would you rather suck off Elon Musk's dick or George Floyd's dick? Okay? It's a simple choice. Whose dick would you rather suck off?
I'm not going to answer that, but I would say I have more negative feelings towards George Floyd.
Well, there is I agree with you that yes, there is this idealization of the rich in terms of capitalists, and that they glorify rich people. Haven't we always had an elite class?
Well, I don't care about elites. Like, I think you're always...
Well, elite maybe isn't, but a better word. Haven't we always had royalty? And isn't like, the difference is that, and I agree, I mean, to over idealize millionaires and billionaires, some of whom would sell out their own grandmothers if it meant they could get, $2 more on their stocks for a quarter, is probably not healthy. And in the same way, you see the left idealizing, some of the most disgusting people on the planet under the name of, they're the representative of our cause. I think it goes both ways.
I still look at
the
elites as being, I have to hold them like way more accountable than the downtrodden, because the downtrodden aren't in control of anything. They can't even really control their own lives.
And I would agree with that assessment. I think that the issue is, when it comes to capitalism, is how does, in the end, how does it impact your own life? I mean, to me, if I work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, I think I have enough of a, I have the wherewithal to decide what I'm going to do with that money.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a brief example, like just a tiny example of something like that brings out a level of disgust. Like I guess like investment firms started investing in like mobile home or trailer parks, and these are where people rent, and they're doing minimal makeovers, whatever, but they automatically jack the prices way the fuck up, and they've got a pretty efficient system going to where, they're just going to kick your ass right out on the street as soon as you have a problem paying their rent. And but to me, and this is just to make money, and I look at it as just like incredibly, the level of greed to take advantage of the most vulnerable people financially in the country, to me, it's just disgusting, and just, I would say, immoral.
Okay.
I could go on to many examples, but that was just one that stood out. And I don't think companies have any loyalty to their workers, like, whatsoever. I mean, they would love to find a way to get rid of you right before you give birth. Don't let you go 20 years in. Next to nothing. I mean, there was a race to provide you less benefits than the previous generations, so like, especially in terms of retirement. I feel like it's I feel like we kind of have a perverse system. Maybe at least in Japan, it used to be that like CEOs would take for bad decisions that were made, the cuts came at the top. You had to lose your salary, not the devoted worker. And because in Japan, they believe that the key to a healthy society is good workers. When you go to prison there, it's because you don't know how to be a good worker. That's what they drill into you. So the worker is kind of like sacred. The last thing you do is abuse the Japanese worker. But here it's different. They pretty much say fuck the worker, and it's all about money. And I just like.
It's pronounced that.
I don't see it like for the conservatives who try to like be unapologetically capitalist, and they're all like, "Oh, there's winners and losers, baby." Like I just think they're just kind of disgusted. Like, what are you trying to conserve? Do you want to conserve the American dream, where if people can, I don't know, have fucking kids and buy a house, before they're middle aged? I mean, what is it that you want? I mean, I want to conserve that stuff.
Yeah, but see, I'm amazed at how many people don't understand the word conservative. Conservative doesn't mean conserve as in hoard,
frugal,
or not release or hang on to. Conservative, the best way to explain it is, I am going to apply a liberal coat of moisturizer to my skin. The opposite would be, well, we are going to take a well-measured and well-thought-out approach to solving this problem. Hence, or in other words, a conservative approach to solving this problem. That's what conservative means. It's like, well, can you give us a conservative estimate on how much this will cost us in the next 10 years in order to build this? That's the real definition of conservative. And it's gone out into the ether that conservative means, hanging, hoarding something.
Fiscally and
That isn't
culturally
it
for
at
real,
all.
Alan.
As far
Great
as
explanation
the
about
other
nothing,
things you
Alan.
said, yes, that is the downside of capitalism. And
Great
that,
explanation about
but
nothing,
that
Alan.
is, here's the question in my mind, is that there are always bad people in the world, and there was always been corruption in the world. And in which system if you're going to compare capitalism versus, say, socialism or Marxism or communism, which system has the best potential for eliminating that?
Well, no, I know I'm against socialism and
no, I know.
Communism.
But see, yeah, well, I know you are, and what you point out, that corruption that you talk about is not a bug but a feature of the Marxism and all of its incarnations, because the government essentially, now you have one entity.
I'm totally gonna set up a date with this chick and then ghost her.
Controlling
Waste your
everything.
time.
You know, in the example
Are you here?
gave,
Are you
yeah,
here?
it's
I'm
horrible.
here. I'm
Those
by the bar.
companies are
Where are you
coming in
at?
and making
I don't see
people
you.
move.
Are you
And I
catfishing
don't
me?
say, and I understand how difficult it is to move a
Okay, I'm
trailer,
leaving. Fuck
but
this.
one
Bye.
can go
I'm
to
here.
another
Where are
trailer
you?
park and find another place.
that was
That
true
is-
until they started basically they started buying them all up.
Yeah.
So leaving them with no options like that. I mean, I'm just bringing out of like exploitation of the
No,
poorest.
Yeah.
I understand, but the
Oh,
argument,
yes, we are
without
actually
them,
going to the
without
doctors. Oh
using
my God.
that specific
Oh, God.
example, the idea is within a free market, there will be, you know, various entities competing, and if one doesn't provide a service, then there will be another one that does. That doesn't always happen, but at least that potential is there compared to, you know, someplace like Russia. No, you don't have that option. This is the car you buy, and you will like it.
Yep. I just, I don't mean, like, what the fuck does it even mean to be an American anymore, dude? I mean, honestly. You have so many, you get to have, I'm going to get into it.
Freedom of choice,
Back to Pepe
and
and
more
the line of
choices,
depression.
and more choices,
Pepe has met
unlimited
spirituality.
decisions. Have you ever lived overseas?
He's a moron.
No, I spent time overseas, but I don't know. I mean, it's just like you can get some, you know, weird fucking smelly Pakistani that can move here and,
Unless it's the Pepe.
I don't know, he'll call himself American and he'll have a bunch of shitlets that will tell him he's also an American, but he has some, there's nothing American about him.
Pepe the clown show.
I mean,
Yeah.
Show about Pepe
It takes 3 generations before they're American.
and lack of sex
The
life.
immigrant still has ties to
Having
their
any
old country. And while they may embrace American ideals, there's
The
that
show about
those
Pepe and his
experiences
depression
still
and lack
there.
of sex
The
life and
next
having any
generation
meaning in his life.
will still
He kicked me!
have that same allyship, but they grow up in American culture. So they're torn between pleasing their parents' sense of culture and the American one. And by the 3rd generation, the grandkids of those immigrants, they're fully American, and they've not, even if they still speak the same language and still have the same customs, they're now fully indoctrinated in, I won't even say American culture, but just well, I don't know, I guess that's a good word as any, but they take for granted what the previous 2 generations did not.
well, I would say that the problem is that we, and a lot of us saw it, especially during George Floyd riots. You know, you have these dark-skinned people that are not like native to Britain or America, and they're ungrateful. They'll say fuck you whitey, fuck you pilgrim, go back home to Europe if you don't like it. So now we're here, they're gracing us with their presence, they like tear down our fucking statues, shit on our history, and it's just like I would rather see China literally nuke them into fucking mutants than to allow these pieces of shit inherit this country. Like these, go die of fucking tuberculosis or whatever fucking diseases you get back in your Ecuador or wherever the fuck it is you came from. Well, like these aren't Americans in my opinion.
Well, there was always
Ilhan Omar's not an American. She's a fucking dirty bitch.
Yeah, well, there was always the American hating. There was an element of most of them who come here legally because they waited their turn and didn't just jump over the border. They appreciate the opportunity that the country has. But if it doesn't cost you anything to come here and it's given to you, well, then you don't appreciate it. And that right there is part of the problem. They were given, here's a free ticket to a concert. What is it? Oh, well, we don't know, it doesn't matter, it's a free concert. It's better than what you're doing now.
What I am liking is that U.S. aid is like being cut off. So, so we thought it was smart to give like the people who love spreading AIDS the most to each other, which is Africans, like AIDS treatment drugs. But these people aren't really like taking them reliably like they should. But we've been extending the life expectancy of these Africans. Which, I don't know why you would want to do that. They don't produce anything.
From this fucking,
and then they just have more
fucking
kids
rat
that,
loser
obviously have
bastard
HIV.
Pepe.
And then they'll want to come here to the West. Like, hopefully, USAID is going to stop this from happening. Or the cuts to USAID will slow it down. Maybe more of these people will just, die from AIDS, I guess.
Whoa, people are dying from AIDS. What's happening? You guys are just one solution. Everything else is just we got a surgery for this cancer. Here it is. Everything else is not going to work. You can talk about everything else, or you can just do surgery, and the surgery is to have a Messiah world.
Amazing. But that's one of the funny thing about like Africans is that, or even some Black Americans, they'd be like, yeah, we're having all the babies, the future is ours. When we start cutting the medicine and the AIDS drugs, and you stop getting food aid, and our militaries don't intervene, I mean, you guys are going to go back to like dying in your 30s. Unfortunately, which is probably a good thing for the world.
Let me tell you about America. America's white people and black people and Hispanic people and Asian people. There aren't so many Mediterranean people in America. Everybody wants to be Mediterranean. The top white actors look Mediterranean.
What do you mean people want to be Mediterranean? It's bullshit.
Like Henry Cavill, George Clooney, Pico, Ben Affleck.
I don't even know what you're saying, bro. I don't. No, this sounds untouchable. Where are you from? Are you Armenian?
Brothers.
Are you from Armenia? Are you Armenian?
I'm Greek and Armenian.
Okay, well, so I would say if anything, the archetypical person, or like that was always kind of more revered in Western Europe and in America is like tall,
dark, handsome.
Not really. I mean, maybe a tan is what they mean by dark, but generally like blonde people. Blonde-haired people are.
I might take you right there tomorrow.
Dude, what is the problem? You're laughing. Well, I mean, how many of you Mediterranean faggots are even tall? Like, you guys are...
Right, look,
so you don't see Mediterranean...
The most beautiful men in the world are Northern Europeans.
That's fine. I'm, like, more Mediterranean, too, but I'm just saying, like...
They're actually Mediterranean, yeah.
Some tall Swede is gonna. So you're trying to tell me there's some like tall Swede?
Negotiating Abe, sorry. Swede, I don't love the blonde. I don't love the blonde, blue-eyed thing. I don't
Take
get
it back. That's fine.
Well, they're just like I personally like dark-haired girls.
I like dark-haired. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Americans love blondes, and they always have. But it's not like controversial.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Western civilization is like the most important thing. So everybody just uses what Sprendona baby they want, and it's Jewish.
Hello, John.
Oh, I have it. We introduced an ancient civilization class to high school curriculum senior year. There it is. There it is. We're done.
Yeah, I'm talking. Are you going mute? Hi, John.
Hey, I'm curious. What do you think of? I mean, the room title. What do you think of?
I mean, I've always had this stance that like if you serve like the military in another country, like it should be because you plan on like pretty much relocating there. Other than that, I don't really give a shit.
Why do you think he said it?
Oh, I think he's kind of hiding his power levels. I think he's just doesn't. He touches on a lot of familiar talking points. I think he's just sick of Israel. He's trying to, in the most palatable way possible, like attack Israel.
Do you think?
And or any like support
The
the
Pepe show about Pepe's underlying depression.
Yeah, I got you. Do you think that
The show
the people
about
that
nothing, as always.
he would probably say this is like free speech, but the people that have been more or less terrorizing the country on college campuses across the country with Hamas headbands and whatever flag, do you think they should be citizens?
No, I don't. I mean, I have more controversial. I don't think Muslims should be allowed to immigrate. Period, to the West.
They're not Muslim. They're
it's
just like some of those. You can be a dual citizen. I mean, the thing is, the U.S. allows for dual citizenship. I think in most countries, right? So we naturally like you.
I don't have a problem with dual citizens. Do I in Congress? Which none of them are. There's no dual Israeli citizen in Congress.
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, it kind of doesn't sit well with me if you're a dual citizen of anywhere. As far as just dual citizen Americans, yeah, I don't care about that.
I mean, Tucker has a lot of sway, so it's interesting to see that this stance. I don't think he thought about Israel much before the war. So.
Well, he also got let go of Fox, so he's been able to maybe speak his mind more. I think even people like me think. I'm not going to necessarily blame Israelis for it, because evangelicals, I think, are rabid supporters of Israel for very different reasons than Jews would be. But I do think that Israel is willing to like center themselves politically in America, which most of us, we don't really care or think about Israel that much. It's kind of like
probably not. We'd like for you not to think about it so much.
Yeah, so it's like most Americans, depending on where you live, aren't even going to know an Israeli, so they don't really. It's just not on their top list of things to care about as a country.
Well, I mean,
every child deserves a Shabbat every year, and there should be an ancient civilizations class senior year in high school where they learn the Greeks and the Bible. The Greeks and the Bible. I've done it in summer school.
Learn about ancient civilization.
I did it. I taught the whole Bible in summer school and the whole Greeks.
That would be amazing.
Greeks haven't invented anything in a long time.
But in Hebrew.
Well, they were. I mean, I guess they were kind of like the
Sorry, they should start learning French and Hebrew and Spanish in elementary school. So sorry.
I mean, Greeks were I guess the start of Western civilization.
I'm sorry, Hebrew is just an ugly language.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hello?
I mean, it is very harsh. Like,
it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful. It's probably the most beautiful. I'm sorry, French. I love French. French is the most beautiful.
Like, imagine if Shuki was cussing people out. You fucking whore!
Shuki. I don't know what the world is. What Shuki is. I don't know who Shuki is or what he is. But he's
But if he was cussing out somebody like with a French accent, it would probably sound cool. But it's just so harsh. He just sounds so angry when talking.
No, it's more about the things he says, right?
Yeah,
he says some really bad things. He's vile. He's vile, yes. He's disgusting.
Yeah.
He makes me sick to my stomach.
It makes me sad when he puts his daughter on and has her repeat the things that he says, and she's like,
oh my god.
No.
Oh my god.
Can I just say something? You know what I find funny? We have an Armenian.
You know what I find funny is that we were all just talking and you just came right up and just fucking started talking.
Yeah, sure. You know what's funny? We have an Armenian in the chat that supports an Islamist regime. Did you Armenians forget what the Islamists did to you or the Turks did to you?
Oh, you're talking about Ludwig? Ludwig's just retarded.
Yeah, the Armenian cuck.
Oh my god, I've heard of him. I've heard of him twice.
He's such a like jihadi simp.
Are you this?
Oh, he's so retarded. Come on,
I does kesi chamanelu. What's up, faggot? What's up,
Armenian cuck.
Say it in my face. Say it in my face.
In your face, I will punch your face.
Okay, come on.
Turns out of your ass.
What am I hearing about you? What am I hearing
He is a
about you?
kickboxer.
What am I hearing about you? Come on over, Alpha. I'll turn you into a feminist.
He loves Muslims.
This got really good.
He loves Muslims. Post your face. Post your body.
He's actually a big ass dude.
With the Turks and the
That's great. Then he has a Jewish soul. What can I say?
You're giggling with your boyfriend on Saturday night?
You know what's funny, Pepe? We have a survivor of a genocide that supports an Islamist regime that has implemented a policy of genocide against minorities. I will fucking punch you in the face until the Turks come and grab you with the Azeris, bitch.
You support
genocide. I support Israel. You can't even be a faggot. You can't even be a...
The Armenians have colonized my stage. Oh my.
No,
This is
so-and-so is like genociding? Like,
There is no genocide. Hamas started a war and you're getting your ass in it to you Armenian cunt.
Is there a genocide?
Islamists?
Okay, what's happening, guys? Wait, I gotta catch up. What is happening? Plato said stay your terms.
Who are you talking?
What is happening?
Okay, George.
My body is warm. I am ready for commanding speech.
What are you?
I don't moan. I'm the guy who doesn't moan when he speaks.
Is your boyfriend holding your
George, a baby, stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, Alpha, what regime are you talking about?
Your mother.
That oppresses ethnic minorities.
The Islamist regime of Iran.
Okay, and which George,
I'm so sorry. Just let me butt in something.
Yeah, no, don't butt in. And what regime do you think is better for Armenians?
What do you mean what regime is better for the Armenians? We're not talking about Armenians.
Who's under the genocide, you fucking cockroach?
You were just talking to Ludwig about
faggots. Who funded the genocide in 1950? You ever looked at the receipts, you bubblehead?
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about
Who you think is better, Alpha?
Let's talk about it.
Better in what?
Well, what's a better government or country for the Armenians to align themselves with at this time?
Israel.
God.
Oh, so wait. So Armenians should align themselves with the country that sold drones to Azerbaijan, which Azerbaijan then used to kill Armenians in 2020 in their war, and now has those videos
I just tried to get
of those drones. Stop interrupting me, George. Now has the videos of those drones killing Armenians as part of their sales package to sell those drones to other countries.
Okay, shall I answer
That's
you?
the country that Armenia should align itself
Okay,
with.
shall I answer you? The United States of America supported Saddam when Saddam.
Dummy. Stick to the subject.
The United States of America supported Saddam when Saddam was killing Kurds. Shall we be against Saddam?
Are you Kurdish?
United States?
Are you Kurdish?
Shall we be against United States? Yes or no?
Are you Kurdish?
Yes or no?
Are you Kurdish?
Are you Kurdish?
Yes or no? You have no argument.
What do you mean?
You
to be fair, hold on,
You
George.
support
We're talking about
You support
talking
Turkey.
about
You're
20
giving
years.
rules to Turkey.
Yeah,
What's your point?
yeah,
You have
but
implemented a policy of genocide against Armenians and Kurds and Assyrians. What's your point?
Okay, so respectfully, sir, you came up and just immediately started to trauma dump. So can you just not hijack Pepe's room? This is Pepe's room.
Who are you
And
talking
you just
to?
came right up. I'm talking to Alpha. You came right up and just we were having a discussion. You came right up and just fucking inserted yourself and just
But
trauma
no
dumped.
argument.
So
I
no,
answered
this
his
room isn't
argument.
about you. This room isn't about you. We were having a discussion.
Oh,
We're
it's
gonna
about
continue
you
having
not
that
being able to get
discussion.
an argument?
You inserted yourself.
I think this guy is the curse of Ham
I said
embodied.
what I said.
I think this guy, but you said he's a big guy, right? Is he attractive? Your mother
Yeah,
I gave an
Alpha,
argument based on moralism. I gave an argument based on moralism against the United States. So
Yeah.
I'm still pro-United States. So what's your point, Helen?
yeah, I'm asking, are you Kurdish?
I can be whatever I want to be. That's not the point.
It is
Argument,
the point.
argument.
It is the point.
You supported many countries that have committed acts of crime. What's your point? Shall we deal with
Yeah, are
that?
you Middle Eastern?
Come on, stop it.
Are you Middle Eastern?
Unfortunately,
Why, unfortunately?
because it's a shithole.
It is a shithole, I agree with you. Absolutely. But what happened 20 years ago with Saddam, if you're Kurdish, okay, maybe you and I have a beef too. Now, I can appreciate the fact that the Kurds apologize for the fact of all their mercenary groups that raped and killed Armenians while they were on their forced marches. And at least they made
In the same
some
way,
recognition of that.
in the same way,
Compared to
Armenians
the
did
Jews
apologize for
who
being
can't
mercenaries of the
even
Tsar and
acknowledge-
cleansing
I'm not
Kurds
done
of the
talking.
Caucasus.
I'll
That's
let
what you
you
need to
speak.
speak about too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll let you speak
Selectivism.
after I speak. I can appreciate that they did that compared to Israel, which can't even acknowledge that it was a genocide, because heaven forbid there should be some other country and other people in the world that had a genocide that might take away from their own attention. But that's my own conjecture. We don't know if that's actually the case.
Sure, selective history. Maybe the Armenians need to apologize for being mercenaries of the Tsar or Russia and the Kurds of the Caucasus. So don't do
Oh my God, Alpha,
Don't do
stop.
selective history. Please don't do it. I'm very well versed on Middle Eastern history. That's the problem with the United States people in the United States.
What language do you speak?
Yeah, you saying we were mercenaries.
What language do you speak, Alpha?
I speak 11 languages.
You know what? There's finally there's finally a ceasefire, and
Is that a joke?
people. What?
Is that a joke or is it a ceasefire?
Okay, so
No, I'm serious.
we have done a lot of talking, a lot of hours, a lot of months talking about the war in the Middle East, and now it's kind of like somewhat at peace right now. So can we just move to a different subject and talk about America?
Yeah, fuck Israel. So that's it.
All right, so yeah, I really don't care about talking about this. So what were we talking about before this all took
See, that's why you don't let Middle Easterners into the United States. Except for Armenians. Except for Armenians and people from... And you're Lebanese.
This Lebanese who hate America? Great. Fantastic logic.
What were you going to ask, Ludwig?
Really quick, George Costanza, that's on stage, that's finger fucking his dog. If you feel confident, you can come to my side of the ocean and say whatever you want in my face. Time and place, just let me know. If you're that confident on an audio app,
okay, let's not.
Just let me know. Wait, what?
Okay,
what are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, we wanted
George Costanza. Wait, Ludwig, I'm so sorry I blanked out. What did you say? Take another line of cocaine, maybe you'll wake up. I'd love some cocaine. I bet you do.
Let's move on.
Or do I?
Let's move on.
Thanks, Pepe.
Let's move on. Don't care.
Ludwig,
Alright, shut the fuck up, George. George, we're not keeping this going, George.
Pepe, hey,
drop
take
it.
easy.
No, drop it.
Stop, George. Guys, you're gonna hear some beautiful.
George, you have in the timeout section.
George, stop
it. Jesus Christ.
Why are we hearing so many accents, right?
Exactly.
Hey guys.
Go, Pepe, what's the subject, man?
We were talking about Tucker Carlson earlier and stuff he was saying about Israel, and then just other things, economics.
So, how do you guys feel about Diddy running for office?
No, fuck no.
What office is he running for?
I heard he was trying to become vice president.
I never heard it like that.
Oh my gosh, BB is spamming your chat.
Who?
Yeah, the tranny baby. Kick her out.
I have BB blocked, but
She can talk shit about me, I don't care.
no, she's just spamming the chat.
Yeah, well, kick her. Make me mine.
Mia went back in a spick, throughout the day. It's fine.
Who's running for vice president?
Ludwig Garcia.
Diddy.
Who?
Ludwig Garcia.
Above Diddy,
That's what that gun guy said.
You actually believe that shit? Like, why would you even repeat something like that? For who? For Republicans? Let me guess, he's running for vice president for the Republicans.
I know you wanted to start a party for the blacks prior to his arrest.
For the blacks? He wanted to start a party for the blacks?
He still has to be sentenced. He didn't get off. He stands up to 20 years.
Yeah.
He wanted to start a party for the blacks? What kind of party? A Diddy party?
A clean one.
Or a political party?
You caught on, my brother. You caught on. A freak off.
A freak off party, or what kind of party you talking about?
Dude, so what do you guys think of that? If any of you guys have seen like the tweet that Trump put out after it's like a large diatribe talking about how like, oh, Pam Bundy's great, and why do you guys care about Epstein? We need to move on. We need to, focus on this, and that. And it's like, dude, like, how many fucking people do you actually need to work on releasing the fucking Epstein files? Like, what a guy, like, what a fucking cop-out.
Yeah, he's doubling down on it. Not a good look. He's not
horrible look.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, fella. And anyway, it's gossip, right? We need Trump leading the country, bro. fixing the country. The release of the Epstein files ain't gonna change. What is it gonna change?
No, but what about the JFK? What about the Martin Luther King? What about, I'm going to have the wars ended within my first 3 days in office? Now, mind you, he makes these bold claims and these bold promises. But because he makes these promises, it's supposed to be promises made, promises kept. So, like, why would you be saying all of these things, Trump?
Exactly.
You promised, and you didn't come through. And it's disappointing.
Well, how do you say it's not important now? I mean, he's been in office for 120 days. He's not going to be able to fix everything immediately. He can't wave a magic wand and knock down all of his ideas in the first 120 days.
And I completely agree with you.
You're starting to sound like the Democrats now.
Well, no, what I'm saying, I'm just repeating what Donald Trump said to us. So, like, when he said he would have the wars ended within the first 3 days, I thought that was, like, crazy. I was like, no. Like, and that didn't happen, but he said it. So, I mean, he made promises, and those he hasn't.
And just question, how many wars does he need to stop to satisfy that?
I just think that America needed to withdraw from being actively involved in the Middle East and with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, just completely withdraw.
I'm so sorry, guys. I think the Lieutenant, you need to love my
Holy shit, why are you starting this again?
Your mom is the love of my life. I'm your biological dad, of course.
Yeah, you know, the Epstein files, I have a scanner. You put it into the scanner, it scans it, it turns it into JPEGs, and then you send it by email to all your news sources. Or you just put it out on Twitter saying, here's the Epstein files. Easy. It's done. It's not hard to do.
Let me ask you, Alan, do you think that the federal government sits on bombshell information locked away in a safe, and just when someone gets elected, it's like, oh, okay, well, we've been sitting on all this information that wasn't used, so now it's going to be used. I mean, there was definitely some sort of evidence used during the Ghislaine Maxwell case, right? Is that the stuff that we want released? Like, I'm curious though, how much information is it? Do we want all of his hard drive, like all of Epstein's hard drive? Like, what are people looking for? It's the smoking gun, is what to fill in my own answer.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've got, and I wouldn't care, except then I heard other people talking about that, and like Ann talked about, they talked about it. Trump talked about it, if I'm not mistaken. Pam Bondi said, it's sitting on my desk. They talked about it. They created the expectation. So to turn around and say, well, no, there's nothing here. Maybe there is nothing there. Release it and let the public decide for themselves if it's nothing or not. Whatever that thing was, I don't know what it is, but they kept calling it the list, the Epstein list, you know?
That's a great point by Ann and you. That's a great point by both of you.
Hey Joe, by the way, I found out today on Twitter. I saw a couple posts where Pam Bondi was a Qatari representative or something like that. Like she was representing Qatar for whatever reason, and I think it had to do something with Israel, and I can't remember what it was, but it was.
Oh yeah, we heard about that. That came out a while back. She was a foreign lobbyist. She was paid. You know how that works, right?
Oh, okay. Not really, but that's okay.
I don't know. They got people come to you if you're a person in politics and say, hey, we'll give you $100,000 if you go to this, lobby on behalf of us for a certain amount of time, and they go, I'm not sure of the details, but yes, I think she was. I heard about that when they put Pam Bondi up as AG. I think some of that stuff came out at her confirmation here.
I think it was like Qatar, one of those countries.
Yeah, one has to take those with a grain of salt, because you have to remember politicians really are whores. And I believe it was Democrat Dick Gephardt, though I could be wrong, spent years lobbying on behalf, while he was in Congress, lobbying on behalf of the Armenians and Armenian causes. And then when he left office, what does he do? Oops. He now goes on, becomes a lobbyist for the Turkish government to the tune of $2 million a year. So, yeah, it's,
Wow.
Yeah, it's a matter of, oh, you got money, okay.
He just died recently, just a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was, I want to say he was 83 or something. I can't remember, but yeah, he died.
Oh, well.
I got into Tucker Carlson for his grilling with Ted Cruz. That was one of the best journalistic interviews. As much as I don't like Tucker, he gave one of the best.
Which one?
The one that he gave about Ted Cruz on Iran.
Oh, Ted Cruz. Yeah. I mean, I wonder how Christian these people even are. How can he's like, I believe it's in the Bible. And my support for Israel is unwavering. I can't even do his gay accent, but it's like, speaking of paid whores, that's how I look at Ted Cruz.
You know what the thing is they hide beneath the, spirit of the God and the word of the God and stuff like that. So what?
Yeah. In general, it's like Ted Cruz. I mean, he lost everything when he lost to Donald Trump back in 2016. I mean, it was pretty clear that he has had no spine since then.
I'm going to disagree with people's sentiment about him, and I will tell you why. First of all, my first impression of him was him arguing with Jon Stewart. And Jon Stewart, which I can't stand now, but in the day I thought he was funny and articulate. Ted Cruz kept up for him point for point and matched not only the arguments, but the humor with which Jon Stewart was presenting things. And then in terms of just the conservative cause, if you watch him in Congress, if you watch on C-SPAN, when he's grilling judicial candidates or arguing points, he is an extremely good debater, and just a really good person to have in the conservative arsenal. So whilst we may not like particular parts of his personality, I don't think you can take that away from him. Now, other things, be it as it may, I'm not going to argue that he's a great person or that he's presidential. He rises to the level of presidential potential. But for what he's done, I think he deserves less shade, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I like Jon Stewart because his dual loyalty to the U.S. and to New Jersey.
But you better be careful, Al. They're gonna start calling you a Jewish shill.
They're going to what?
They're gonna start calling you a Jewish shill.
No one would.
You haven't come to Alan enough.
Yo, I said he's like agreeing with some things to Ted.
I mean, Jon Stewart has to deal with being called a self-hating Jew all the time.
You know what? I gotta say, Alan is one of the coolest, most truthful gentlemen on this fucking app. I don't give a fuck who says whatever about Alan. He's number one in my book. He's just a great guy. Just, if you ever get a chance to talk to him for 5 minutes and you'll be fucking wild.
Well, I'll just say this, like, even when it comes to Israel, I don't even hate, I'm like, I guess you could say Zionist. I believe Israel has right to exist and defend itself, all of that shit, but, like, do I buy, like, most of the narratives they give about, like, their history, and, like, no, not really. Do I, like, and I guess, like, I do think they're, like, injected into our, Israel's injected into our politics a lot, and, like, I truly, which I have to, I'm not gonna lie, it's annoying, it's very annoying, and I think a lot of Americans feel the same way, and they're not, like, extremist on the left or the right, they're just like, alright, yeah, more, yeah, I stand by Israel, I have to say that, I'm a fucking politician, what is that? Like, why should we even give a fuck? And it's obnoxious. Like, out of all the countries in the world, it's the only one you have to be like, yeah, I support Israel, guys,
Don't you think that's contradicting what you're saying when you're not really willing to believe the whole founding of Israel, and then you're like, yeah, well, they have the right to exist, like...
Yeah, but he has a lot of contention with the United States too, dipshit.
Well, I would say...
Is that cockroach? Wait, hold on, the faggot said something.
Oh, what would you say?
No, it's not, I don't want to hear people fighting on my fucking stage.
Okay, don't you think you're contradicting when you say, like, yeah, Israel should exist, but then again, you don't believe, like, the whole, how Israel was founded, yada more?
Well, I would say, who built it? If we look at the modern country of Israel, I mean, to be fair, they're the ones who built it. They have their own country now, it's fine. I mean, what am I supposed to say? Like, yeah, you guys should just, like, I don't know, give it to the fucking Palestinians? Not really.
Should they bomb Iran, Lebanon, Syria?
Yes.
Whatever.
I mean, I personally, no, I don't, I'm against, like, I'm personally against, them starting wars.
So you got the person, if you want to go by person, the state of Israel is actually the instigator of all the injustice and like the not being peaceful in that region. They're actually the ones.
Well, it
that
definitely
are
goes both ways. I mean, to be fair.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So which countries in that region are?
Iran does fuck with them. They have been funding terrorism, and they don't like.
Sure, and so does the United States. They're the founders. Hold on, but so is the United States. They're the founders of ISIS, yada whatnot. Right? We all know that working with the Mujahideen and whatnot, so-called terror organization more. But like, who's actually bombing who in that region? It's only Israel that's like shooting missiles.
Well, we bombed a lot of people in that region.
Right, but why? So what is Israel?
Well, Syria. Well, we need to dump fucking going into Iraq. Well, let me answer. But we went into Iraq and we invaded them for no fucking, like, really no reason, and destabilized it. Then ISIS took control, and ISIS had to be stomped out because of they're just causing way too much trouble, and that was spilling out into terrorist attacks in the West too. So we were in Syria doing that. When it comes to Israel, yeah, I think they start shit that, way too much for my liking. But
you also went to Afghanistan, right? Twice, all based on intelligence coming from Israel themselves. The same thing with Iraq.
No,
hold on. This man is like
Afghanistan.
No, we went to Iraq based on evidence.
Can you climb mute up? Thank you. And ever since like when was it, late 90s, that Benjamin Netanyahu is gaslighting the shit out of Iran. It's like, oh, they are weeks away from developing nuclear warheads or weapons of mass destruction. Literally ever since the 90s, right? Before this man even was running that country. Then he became, and he's like, it's been literally, it's almost like a broken record. He's like, Iran, we gotta focus on, it doesn't stop. He cannot get that dick out of his mouth called Iran. It's like Iran for like literally decades. It's like, now you want to go to Iran? Like, how does it make, like, what is this guy even, why is Israel even existing? What is it really contributing to the world? They're not developing anything. All the tech they have, you guys pretty much can build it yourself and develop it, right? These guys are not contributing. They have like free health care while the average veteran is fucking homeless. And $400+ billion it's make it make sense.
Yeah, the only veterans that are homeless are ones with like mental health issues who refuse to get help from the VA.
Well, I would say this. I agree with you. They have a They have a budget surplus, and we have a budget deficit. And they insist on us giving them money. And yes, they have free health care. We don't. And so I'm 100% against giving Israel any kind of fucking aid. They are big boys and girls and can do it themselves.
You're talking about hundreds of billions have been sent into Israel. Your tax money. Probably was
which they turn around and buy missiles and munitions.
Say that again.
Which they turn around and use to buy munitions from the United States.
Buying? Really, you really think Israel is buying stuff?
Yes.
How much?
Yes, they get. Oh yeah, say they get like $100 million. They then have to turn around and spend that money on munitions.
Which doesn't go to Americans, it just goes to defense contractors.
Yeah, but American-based companies.
They'll lobby for the politician will also keep giving Israel money to buy weapons because it goes back in their pockets.
Yeah, of course.
So it makes people wealthy, but not the everyday American.
Yeah, we can at least say it's crony capitalism, right?
Nah, not really. But, you know, I do think that, like, after World War II, and, you know, there's a lot of collective guilt, and, you know, they have their own little country, and, well, I mean, if we look at
let me ask you this, Pepe.
If we look at the media, and
what is Israel, by the best of your knowledge, contributing to the world or the United States, other than lying about who would not all has weapons of mass destruction and they're gonna allegedly use them? What is Israel really contributing?
The Bible, the glue that holds civilization together.
Hold on.
Who let that drunk
Semicolon.
No, come on, that's not even a real answer, but I would say that today, that's a good question. I don't know. I would say they were strategic allies, in particular during the Cold War. They were the one neighbor that was standing with the West and the U.S., while the others were pretty much cooperating with the Soviets. And of course, with the Suez Canal, they pretty much were able to make sure that was going to keep operating. So I mean, there was definitely. They were absolutely like important.
Yeah, but the U.S. had Turkey for that, so we didn't need Israel. You know, and that was the whole point. Turkey was the investment in Turkey from the United States during the Cold War was crucial, actually, to it, to the point where they were using Turkey nuclear missile tracking stations were in Turkey, which is why Turkey continues to have a privileged position within U.S. foreign policy.
You know what I love about people like Ludwig? as he comes in these rooms and he hears Pepe like espousing some of the same ideologies as him. And he's like, Pepe's one of us. And then I'm like, Pepe, who would you choose? The Muslims or the Jews? And he's like, the Jews. The 100% the Jews. Fuck the Muslims.
Ludwig's heard me.
I know, but he's so dense.
But he's heard me. Ludwig's heard me say like horrible things about Arabs and Muslims. So it's not. Nobody's surprised here.
No, but he just stepped so hard for them. He just
another cuckold for the little heads. Look, we got another cuckold for the little heads.
You got a nice. I have a little hat.
Little hat with big shoes. Old bark, no bite.
Well, I mean, I will say this. There was, like, when it came to Israel, like, for decades, people could not say anything about, like, I mean, even Nixon and Jimmy Carter decades ago, you know, I can go play the fucking tapes, actually. I'll just go ahead and get my laptop out. And, you know, what they had to say about, you know, the Jewish lobby in the U.S. And it's, you know, they were obnoxious. And of course, the Nixon tapes, if you got those jewels out, what he had to say about them. Wow.
You think the region...
I got a thing or two to say.
As long as you're not going to start a fight, like, Ludwig, don't start shit with him.
I told the Jews guys that the Jews are my two-covered dreams. They're loving my youth. I was going to be a rabbi. I still want to be a rabbi, but I just don't want to be circumcised. Oh my god, I'm saying the best things you've ever heard. Who are you?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't care.
Sassy ass, fucking loser, retard, ugly bitch.
Amazing.
It's
happy hour in Greece, I guess.
Don't you think that region would be better off without Israel?
Not necessarily, but I do think that it would be better off for us if we didn't have to fucking deal with Israel and they just fought amongst themselves. I mean, if I'm being bluntly honest, but do I think that there would be peace in that region? No, not at all. I mean, really.
You're a Zionist, right, Pepe?
Yeah, because I think Israel should exist and defend itself.
I'm not sure what they're defending.
Let me ask this question. Look, how do you wrap your mind around that in the MENA region, which is the Middle East, 94% of everyone that lives there is Muslim, okay? Roughly about 3 to 5% are Christians, and about 2% are Jews. And we had someone here from the Middle East said, it's a shithole. Now, I don't think all of it's a shithole. I mean, Dubai definitely is not a shithole. But majority of it is, a majority of it's ran by Muslims, right? So, like, how do you wrap your mind around, like, well, if we just get rid of the 2%, everything's going to be better? Just out of curiosity.
I can tell you honestly, Joe, and I can speak from experience, me going to pretty much every corner of Europe. And if you go to Eastern Europe, which is like 95, 96, 97, perhaps 98% is all Christian countries, where like 95, 96, 97, 98% of all their citizens of all Eastern European countries, apart from Bosnia and Albania, are Muslim countries, or majority of the people that live there are Muslims. But apart from those two countries, which is in Bosnia and Albania, there is a shitload of poverty and a lot of misery in Eastern Europe.
What does that have to do with Christianity? That has more to do with East versus West, like the former Soviet bloc countries.
No, not Soviet. It's Eastern Europe. Soviet is Russia.
Sure, but the Eastern bloc countries that were, I mean, Yugoslavia, I don't think was technically part of the Soviet Union, but they were obviously aligned with them, and that's where Bosnia and Bosnia is, and what was the other one you said? Serbia.
You mean the two countries I mentioned were Albania and Bosnia?
Yeah, Albania and Bosnia, those are both obviously Muslim majority countries. Well, I think Albania just switched to Christian.
No, Albania is predominantly Muslims. It's like 85%.
but here's the problem. So you mentioned, oh well, you have would everything be better there? And then you said, Joe asked the question about like 3 to 5% Christian. My problem is that like just within a century, I mean, Lebanon, for example, was a traditionally Christian country. Parts in Egypt, we can look at many parts of the Middle East that had large, thriving Christian communities.
Lebanon was mainly Catholic.
Yeah, and I mean, fucking Mesopotamia, you had like the Chaldeans and Assyrians that were living there forever, and like in their homelands, they were like ancestrally been living there for thousands of years, and it was Arabs, that had gone throughout the region and pretty much ethnically cleansed them from their own homelands, and so. You have to admit there's been like a huge element of this with Jews in Israel too. It doesn't stop with just Christians.
Well, Pepe, did you know there's more Lebanese living in Brazil than there is in all of Lebanon?
I'm not surprised.
They're almost all Christians, because all the Christians had to flee Lebanon when the Muslims wanted to kill them.
Yeah,
I mean, it used to be a beautiful country. But no, that is true. The Muslims destroyed Lebanon.
Yeah, look up if there's more Lebanese living in Brazil.
No, I know, all right, fine. But I mean, Lebanon was Lebanon used to be a nice place. It was actually a very beautiful place, and it's after Muslims took over that it's kind of gone to shit.
No, it was the French and the Ottoman Empire.
Wait, Dan.
You know that my family's from
Hold on.
Yeah, but
hold on, clown.
Were they Roman Catholic and
Maronite Catholic.
no,
He said Ottoman.
They were Christians, whether they were like Baptists.
Were they Catholic?
Yeah, I was being facetious, and yeah, my point is it was due to the Muslims. The Muslims are a bunch of pieces of shit.
Well, yeah, no, but I was also meant the French too.
Oh yeah, of course. But
yeah.
What did the French do to the Lebanese?
Colonized Lebanon.
Oh my God, best thing for the Lebanese. What?
Well, the French took over Lebanon after the fall of the Ottoman Turkish Empire, after World War I ended.
I mean, even when France had it as one of their colonies, it was still like a thriving, nice place.
Yeah, the French are the reason that the Lebanese Christians were allowed to leave, so they weren't massacred.
Just the French and the Lebanese are.
Yeah, why don't you book a room with Clown, George?
Yeah, guys, I don't want to do you guys doing the.
No, I'm not doing the George thing. I was talking
to praise the nations. I just want to praise the nations.
Shut the fuck up, George.
Well,
I'm just curious though. When I see like a native Christian population, and so we want to focus on Israel, right? But before Israel was a state, you have Christians being driven out of Muslim countries, like totally abused, and they had to flee. And these were like and you guys like to talk about the Israelis or the colonizers, but we're talking about like ethnically, or I should say, indigenous people to the lands that have been there for thousands of years, and I don't know. I just find it kind of stupid.
Including Arab settlement in the latter part of the latter part of the 600s into the mid 700s under the Umayyad Empire.
But the Muslim population, much later than that, like in the 18 and 1900s, still continued to drive Christians out of their fucking land. And these are not Christians that came from afar. These were native-born groups. And nobody's going to say the fuck do you call it, the Coptic Christians in Egypt, or the Lebanese Maronites, or Chaldeans, Assyrians. We can go through the list of all of the different people that are native.
Well, if you're Christian in the Middle East, both the Jews and the Muslims hate you. So let's
Yeah, but Alan, which one kills them?
Acknowledge that. You know, I'll just, I should probably leave the stage and get off the air.
No,
I'll just, I will just end with this story. My first year of college, one of my good friends from high school was visiting me, and he was Jewish, American born. I forget his exact lineage, whether his parents, maybe they survived the Holocaust, I don't remember, but American born Jew. And that particular week, and this is late 70s, so we're in the thick of it between Israel and the Palestinians. That week there was some guy from Palestine, from Gaza, visiting, and he was friends with somebody else on the dorm room floor. And this guy happened to be in my room, and my friend came to visit, who now currently lives in Israel. And we're talking, and it seems like it's a pleasant conversation. Then it comes out, my friend says, "Oh, you're Palestinian?" And he lost it. He was like, "My God, if we were in the Middle East, we'd be at each other's throats right now." And the Palestinian guy was like, look, it's okay, calm down. And my friend, he just lost it. Which is not the point of the story. The point of the story, as an American, I'm looking at the two of them, and for the life of me, I cannot see the difference between either of them. They both look the same to me. And I think the biggest lie, and if we go back to our history in the Bible, weren't they half-brothers or something? The whole thing with the blessing.
Oh, you mean Isaac and Ishmael? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's 43 people between Muhammad and Ishmael missing, so Ishmael in the Bible went to Egypt.
Yeah. The point being is that, one could, if I'm going to be nice about it, we have brother against brother fighting each other in the Middle East. So that's the nice way of putting it. The American or less nice way to put it is, why are we fighting this war why are we even involving ourselves in this war that has been going on for 3,000 years? It's the Hatfields and McCoys. I came to the decision at least 15 years ago. Christianity and Islam are not compatible. They just, how many more centuries of warfare between the religions do we need before we just agree, okay, this is a hopeless cause? Okay, I'm sorry, honey, we've been married for 1,500 years, but the honeymoon is over. It's time for us to go our separate ways. And I think that's true for the United States. The United States does not need to be involved in this conflict any longer. And I think as far as, and I'll land with this, there really is, we can look at the particulars, but in the end, it's, to use the cliche, it's two sides of the same coin.
I'll touch on one thing you made. I'll just say this, there's like...
Can I tell my one white friend hi? What's up?
Hey, what's up, Moon? And so I will say this, you can look this up, all of the church, the different denominations of Christians that live in Judea and Samaria have all spoken out pretty harshly about how they feel Israel is also treating them. I will say something I didn't understand.
Have you spent time in Jerusalem with the Christian community? Sorry, I'm in a really noisy place, but that's just fucking bullshit, and it's not two sides of the same coin. And you oughta, if you are such a strong Christian, maybe take a trip to Jerusalem, go visit the holy
Sepulchre or the Statements of the Cross or the Mount of Olives, still it's protected by the Jewish community and has been coveted by the Jewish community to make sure that Christian pilgrims can pray in peace. And then look at what happened when the Muslim governments controlled holy churches of Christianity and what they did to them and what garbage dumps they made.
And they dumped feces. Yep. Yeah,
by the way, I'm not spent about 4 months in total in the old city of Jerusalem.
Shut the fuck up, George.
So for the Christian
Joseph and
pilgrims,
those
they
brothers.
go and are safe because the Israeli police, the IDF, keep it nice and clean and safe for Christian pilgrims. That's bullshit. And when you go to Tel Aviv and you see the big Christmas trees at Christmas, I mean, it's just, I don't know where the propaganda comes from, but it's just not true.
Oh, sure. No, they
thriving Christian community in Israel. And by the way, when you also spend time in the old city, you see the high priests, the Greek Orthodox, the Roman Catholics, the Coptics. There's 8 different forms of Catholicism that you see just controlling Holy Sepulchre alone. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Well, I'll post the links.
And I'm gonna land with something. You can post whatever fucking links you want, but take a look at the Israeli Knesset. Who sits in the government? There are Christians in the government. There are Christians that serve as ambassadors to other countries. There are Muslims in the government. There are Muslims on the Supreme Court. There are Muslims that are ambassadors to other countries. It's just bullshit. And I call it out. And you can have whatever testimonies you want from someone who is creating propaganda because, and what area are they in? A, B, C? Where do they live? Where are they?
Judea and Samaria.
So if they're in Judea and Samaria, are they in Area C?
I don't know which. I have no idea.
It makes a big fucking difference. And I'm sorry, but I will also tell you that the biggest majority of tourism to Israel are Christian pilgrims. That's who goes to Israel. By the way, from Eastern Europe, the area that he was crashing. So that's just, it's crap. And you can, and I've been there enough times, and you just go and bear witness yourself and see the Christian community in Israel. I mean, it's just bullshit. And thank God. And oh, by the way, let's not forget the Mount of the Sermon on the Mount, the area of the Beatitudes, and the area by the Sea of Galilee, and those.
I'm with you, Abby.
I mean, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. And as a Jew, I will tell you, I love going to visit them. They're beautiful areas, and they're preserved and protected by the Israeli government. So I'm done.
Well, I would say this: it's not individualism, Judea and Samaria. It's actually even the denominations out. So that they believe even the Catholic Church has said that like they were not happy with what they felt with some of the shit they had to deal with.
Which Catholic Church? Because the Pope doesn't like the Coptics. And if you want to know about how they all fight within Catholicism, the ones that control Holy Sepulchre, there's scaffolding from the late 1800s at Holy Sepulchre because they can't agree on how to do repairs. The 8 churches that have the control of that holy site. And you can go see the scaffolding there. They cannot do repairs on the building because they fight with each other. So what the Pope says and what someone is saying in Egypt that's controlling the Coptics and the Greek Orthodox, they're all coming from different directions.
So, do you know the number one reason that...
and go see the scaffolding yourself because it's still there.
Do you know the number one reason why Palestinian Christians claim they leave, they end up leaving? There's been a bunch of polls on this.
Well, in defense, the Palestinian.
No, answer.
I was going to mention the Palestinian.
No, I don't care about you. I don't care about you mentioning something. I want
psychopaths.
Don't care. But no, they cite the Israeli occupation. You're correct. You said that Christians from all out throughout the world would come, particularly to Jerusalem, for tourism. That was actually how a lot of them made money. But now you can blame it on the Muslims that commit terrorism and make travel very difficult through the region. But all the obstacles they ended up putting up in place, right? Like their ability to travel and operate, they can't.
I'm telling you firsthand how many pilgrims there are that visit, and even during wartime, they were still coming in. So you're absolutely incorrect. I don't know what you're reading or where you're hearing this, but you can go see it. There's hundreds of thousands of pilgrims that visit there. Now, right now, they can't because they canceled flights. They canceled all flights in. But they are coming mostly from Eastern Europe. And, by the way, the evangelicals from the United States, which is over 10 million, a part of Kufi, travel on pilgrimages to the Holy Land.
Look, I don't want to be biased. Anybody in this room, just chat GPT. What?
Well, why don't you ask ChatGPT?
What is the main reason Christians left? What is the main reason Palestinian Christians leave?
What Palestinian Christians? Israeli Christians. Israeli citizens that are Christians that live.
No. I'm not talking. I said Judea and Samaria.
Judea.
I'm not talking about Israeli citizens. I'm not talking about Israeli
citizens that are Christian are in the cabinet, in the government.
But I'm not talking about that.
What are you missing? And why don't you look at Pastor Hagee and Kufi and look how big that organization is.
What percent of Israel is Christian? It's like what, 1 or 2%?
What percent is Baha'i? What percent?
I don't know, but I'm talking about those in Judea and Samaria for a reason.
Are you talking about Area C? Are you talking about Area A?
I'm talking about.
Well, I can only talk about Samaria. Where are you talking about? What areas in Judea and Samaria?
I can only talk about the news. Every time I've read these polls and seen the news coverage, they just say the West Bank, basically.
Well, what's the West Bank? Define it.
Judea and Samaria.
Define it. Where? What towns were they living in that they don't live in anymore, the Christians? Because they're surely living in Jerusalem. And the Christian quarter, you can go visit the Armenian quarter. They're the beautiful areas of the old city. And it's,
I guess I would ask this.
Sadly, the war has hurt them in business because their businesses are tourism. And especially the ones that sell the icons and all the olive wood mangers and all the Christian items, the holy water. I mean, they got hurt because of the war. But they're thriving businesses in the old city. In the Armenian
why in the 1950s, whereas like I believe it was like Jerusalem and Bethlehem were both about 90% Christian, and now they're like in the teens.
Was controlled until 1967. East Jerusalem was controlled by Jordan, and take a look at how they treated the holy sites of Christianity. Until 67.
I'm not saying Muslims treat Christians well. It's well documented that they don't treat Christians well.
I can tell you firsthand and ask people that have been to Israel and go there what it's like to visit the Christian holy sites. You see Israeli police patrolling and protecting it.
You do,
and it's kept up and kept clean and kept safe. So you can either think I'm lying or talk to other people.
I know there's a lot of soldiers there. I know there's a lot of soldiers and cops there.
They protect the parishioners that are going in.
Who blew up all the churches and the mosques in Gaza?
That's irrelevant. We're talking about the West Bank.
Well, we're talking about churches. Who's been bombing the West Bank?
The churches, I don't think they hit next to an old church in Gaza. They actually hit it.
I must be looking at AI all the time. My bad.
No, I'm not attacking Jews. I do think.
Well, but you need to know that what you're saying with respect to the old Christian communities, especially in East Jerusalem, is just bullshit. And they need to get along with each other. Again, I got a PTR, I gotta find it, and I'm sorry.
But they're Middle Easterners. They're not gonna get along with each other, even if they're Christian.
At Holy Sepulchre, because they can't agree.
Well, that's a Middle Eastern thing. They just don't get along with each other.
And then talk to the Coptics and what's happened to the Coptic community in Egypt and how their churches get attacked in Egypt.
Well, no, I mentioned that, and one of the points I was bringing up, I don't know when you came in here, is that there is obviously somebody had mentioned that, like, well, you don't see Israel starting all the problems in the region, and because there's they're a small percentage of the Middle East, and he said, well, even when the Christians, no, I know.
Muslim countries, correct? 57.
Yes, and there used to be Christian majorities in the Middle East. That they no longer exist, and these were the indigenous people of these lands, and they all got pushed out by the Muslims. And I do think that
leading women as slaves still.
For what, 20 years?
yeah, I do think that I don't think they look at Jews as an exception. In fact, if we were really to look at Islam, they kind of really don't like Jews a little bit more than they don't like us.
So he hasn't paid for a dinner date in 20 years.
Oh, yeah. And Christians have never been treated well in their country, so...
How many Jews live in Yemen? How many Jews live in Iraq? How many Jews live in Syria? How many live in Lebanon? We've been expelled from every one of them.
I mean, you did whatever you could to get kicked out of 106 countries.
But hold on, look. The thing is, though, is that every group got expelled and pushed out of Muslim countries.
No, hold on. No group has been kicked out of countries more than, I have to say, little has, otherwise I'm going to get flagged. Y'all know why.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Why is this transgender interrupting?
It's very beneficial for the people kicking them out financially.
Thinking of the line of cocaine. Which group of people have been kicked? Hey, Pepe, can you put them in the emergency bubble?
You fucking idiot.
George, shut the fuck up. Just let me finish. George.
Your mother with 3 dicks in her ass. Which group of people have been removed over 106 times?
109, by the way. It's 109.
109. Can you imagine, Pepe, right? Me traveling the world and the 109 countries that I have visited, right? There are, give or take, 220 countries. Let's say I travel more than half the countries in the entire fucking world, and every Saturday night that Lucy goes into a club, he's getting removed from the club. What do you think it is? Is it like something that has to do with my facial features, my bone structure, my height, my broad shoulders? What is it? Why am I getting kicked out of 109 clubs?
Broad shoulders.
You really think it's the clubs, or is it this guy you think?
Well, I would say there's like a lot of things. Do I think that? Yeah. Do I think that is? Hold on a second. Do I think that Jews were that in every instance they were kicked out? They were just being perfect angels, and no, I don't think that. Nobody has like a record of 109-0, so no, I don't believe that.
Well, the little hats do.
Well,
it's hard to deny. I mean,
I haven't heard them quite go that far.
6. You said 109.
Well, it's been 109 for years, bro. Like I was like in circles with the far right where like there's a lot of neo-Nazis, and I hear this shit all the time.
What do neo-Nazis have to do with them being kicked out of 109 countries?
No, because I hear that exact number over and over again. It's 109, and then I forget the 1,000 number, but it's like 109 times. Or 109 places, but over 1,000 times.
Over 1,000 times, right?
Yeah, they're repeatedly kicked out of, the same places over and over.
They must be doing something that is like, time to get removed from the club again.
But let's look at this though. If we were to look at Muslims, 100% of the time, them coming into contact with Europeans has involved basically conquering and expulsion, or conquest and expulsion. We'd never had a peaceful history with them. No other religion has had a peaceful coexistence with them. It's literally has 100% failure rate. So I can use like that same thing against Muslims. Why is that?
Has there been one group of people being kicked 109 times out of all types of countries?
Has there been one group of people that have always genocided, conquered, or subjugated Another group of people, 100% of the time, not that I know of, but Islam stands out.
Was it not the Muslims that were protecting the Jews from getting slaughtered by the Christians?
Where?
Where?
Yeah.
You're kidding me, right?
Where?
This is the first time you ever heard this?
I heard it, but I want to know where you're talking about. It's happened more than once. That's an exception to the rule. Basically, the Muslims were already in power. When the invading Christians were seeking to basically expel them from where the Muslims who had conquered, they were going to push them out. And in some cases, the Jews sided with the Muslims, and so they ended up, going after the Jews too. So,
who bombed the USS Liberty, killing 34 men?
Israel. Yeah,
what was behind? Subject. Okay, what was behind 9/11?
I don't think the Jews were behind 9/11.
That has been proven, fully admitted, by the way.
No, it's bullshit. It's retardation.
You gonna join my room on 9/11?
Huh?
You gonna join my room on 9/11? A couple of months from now?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna bring you all the receipts. It's gonna be like a 5-6 hour room.
Cool.
I'm gonna even play and share the video where you have the dancing Israelis. The men that were
I know who the dancing Israelis. Yep.
Okay. Do you know that the dancing Israelis has also been on a national television show in Israel where they were literally saying that they were sent there to record the event? Do you know about that?
I didn't see that part. Yeah, no, but I've seen it. I don't remember. It's been a few years since I've seen it, but yes, I saw the television show.
Okay, so you don't think that's...
You're not dropping truth bombs on me. Like, I've heard all of this shit a million times.
Okay, so then how do you think it was not this group of people? How are you still denying that?
Sure, because Osama bin Laden ended up... First of all, he issued a fatwa on live television against the U.S. in, I believe it was 1998.
It's never happened.
No, it was on live television.
It doesn't. You speak Arabic?
Are you telling me they mistranslated? Amazing.
Oh, the United States was never gaslight. Come on, let's not be ridiculous.
Huh?
The United States has never bombed or invaded the country, and I'm justified. That would be preposterous too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, and he even stated, in his
Which country were the hijackers from?
Saudi Arabia.
Which country did?
To be fair, Ludwig, 19 of the hijackers were all Muslims. Regardless, they didn't have any regret, any fear. They went forward with their mission. They were Muslims that hijacked it.
Are you gonna join my 9/11 room on 9/11?
I'm just saying there's 19 Muslims. Can you deny that 19 Muslims hijacked the airplanes and attacked America?
Okay.
Can you deny that?
Let me ask you this: if you're so educated regarding this,
I'm just asking. Are you going to deny it?
I'm going.
You're personalizing it. Are you going to deny it?
I'm going to deny it because where's the plane that so allegedly struck the Pentagon?
Okay, so the 19 hijackers did not exist, is what you're saying.
Do you know that there are two?
Who flew the airplanes then? I'm asking.
He's just going to deflect. This is nonsense.
Hold on, no, I'm not going to deflect. Can I respond to Joan that we can give this arrest till 9/11?
I don't know why you can wait till 9/11. Look, why don't you just say it now? Do you deny that the 19 hijackers were Muslims?
Can I respond?
Well,
why is it that there are 2 3-letter agencies within the United States?
Another question you're asking. Look, at the root of it, was it 19 hijackers were Muslim that hijacked the airplane?
There were no 19 hijackers.
There were none. They did not exist.
I didn't say that. I said there were.
Okay, they did not. So, according to Ludwig, 19 hijackers did not hijack airplanes. I mean, they did take down that one. They did take down that one plane over Pennsylvania that we had all the audio recordings of. That we were aware of who was hijacking at the time.
No.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna let me respond, are you gonna let me respond? You're gonna overtalk.
Oh, I'm the one that's oppressing you now. Very victimizing. You're victimizing yourself. You already said you deny that. So who hijacked the airplane?
Can you let me respond or not?
Yeah, sure. Who hijacked the airplane?
Okay. Why are there 2 3-letter agencies within the United States arguing whether it's 7 or 4 hijackers that are still alive? You tell me that, buddy. If you're so educated regarding the whole event on 9/11, you're gonna embarrass yourself, and I'm gonna smoke you.
Okay, I'm gonna get
on 9/11. If you're willing, if you get.
All I said was, were there 19 hijackers?
Join my room. Answer that question. I'm gonna second for you. Are you gonna join my room?
In September?
No, 9/11.
It's fucking July, bro.
Are you gonna join this or no? Don't deflect. Don't make this about what it is right now. Are you
about joining your room?
Are you gonna join my room?
2 months from now, do you hear? I don't know what I'm doing on. I don't know what I'm doing on September yet. Yeah, just go ahead and show it, Vic. I'm not cheating. I'm gonna wait 2 months. What you got to hide?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Where's the degree of
Why are you gonna ask questions? Make your statement. Be assertive. Be assertive. Make your statements. Don't ask questions.
You don't have to repeat the question 2, 3 times. Where's the debris of Flight 93? Show that.
Okay, again, you ask the question, just be assertive. Assert what you're alleging.
Bro, where is
no, why can't you just make your point? Like, I made my point. 19 of the hijackers are, listen, beloved, I made my point. 19 of the hijackers were Muslims. You deny that. That's okay. Assert your point rather than ask questions. This is just garbage, trying to spin.
Do you guys want to move on?
Yes, please.
Well, by the way, Pepe, this is white American. I don't think you are white. You're not white.
I'm a Mexican, and here's the problem, guys, is that we're taking over the United States of America. What they like to say is white. We consider ourselves white. The gringos are not willing to fight, but the Mexicans are, so we're taking over. Viva la raza, white / brown power. Fuck all of you people.
Literally, the illegal immigrants are there to invade America.
I'm an anchor baby, bitch. My mom was pregnant, backstroking across the Rio Grande with me. She was 9 months pregnant, and she dropped. Yep, and she waited, but she had enough discipline to drop me once she got onto the American side of the border. So I am American now. Brown fucking power.
Yeah, but you are literally saying, declaring that Latinos and Mexicans and those illegal immigrants are gonna take over America. And
the whites. As we love white people, we wish we could be white. We're actually propping up the whites because we love the whites so much. We look, the white people in Latin American countries all do really well. Us browns, sometimes we do well. So we're pushing them up, and so. Yeah, you dirty Indian. Okay, I don't know what kind of bullshit the gringos may be a little afraid to call you out as a dirty Indian. You filthy fucking cheat. Shut up.
She's a Latino bitch. She's a chica.
Okay, I understand that you're mad because you got a hemorrhoid from squeezing the last smelly curry cheese shit out on the street in public, and people had to watch it. You're a disgusting motherfucker.
You gotta be dropped on the
fucking Indian faggot.
You filthy fucking Mexican gang member, MS-13 gang member, fucking you piece of shit, cartel bitch.
At least
that's El Salvadoran, you stupid fuck. I'm a Mexican.
Fuck, you don't belong. You're gonna ruin America, bro. Nobody gonna.
No, you dirty fucking Indians are gonna ruin America. Fuck you.
You're gonna fucking ruin the American freedom, bro. You fucking gang member. You fucking drug dealer, cartel.
Yeah, go ahead and go back to coding. Go back to your coding job. Thank you very much.
You fucking wetback. You fucking loser. You fucking piece of shit. They're building a wall. Literally a wall for you, for your people, your shitty people. Trump is building a fucking wall to stop you, bro. You are unwanted in this country. Nobody wants you.
No, most of the immigrants that are coming here are not from Mexico anymore.
Bro, they put the military.
No, they're putting up the walls to stop the South Americans and to stop the dirty, and you dirty cheats, you dirty chicks, and all of you filthy fucking people that are coming here.
The Marines in the American cities.
Tell me what is nice. Tell me what is nice about you filthy fucking. Tell me what is nice about you filthy fucking Indians.
Puta negro.
Puta negro. You're not even saying it correctly.
Lots of fentanyl, bro. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Fentanyl.
¿Cómo estás, amigo? I'm just fine. How are you?
What language? Even your language is shitty, bro. You don't have like.
What is your language? Why do you talk like this? Why do you want to motherfucking slurping, motherfucker? I tell you, fucking bitch. You fucking fuck off. I squeeze really hard to take curry, stinky, smelly shit. I squat in the middle of your street, white man. You do nothing. I take smelly curry shits in Western countries.
Bro.
Smelly curry shits. That's all I was. I work for cheap and in clothing centers. I also, your jobs are outsourced to me, the brown man from India. That's what I do. Dirty, smelly Indian pojits. We rule the world.
Cocaine, bro. Cocaine
is more fun than smelly curry shits. The Mexicans know how to party, but us cheats do not. Why can we not party like the Mexicans? We have ugly bitches. Why do we have ugly bitches? The Latinas have big butt-ass Latinas. Why do they have big booty Latinas? And we have smelly, dirty, hairy women that smell like curry and poop.
America hates you, bro. America hates Mexico.
We hate you, people.
How many Mexicans go in Mexico?
Fuck you, motherfucker. Okay, fuck off.
Yeah, but maybe he wasn't from India.
No, I know he wasn't. I was just fucking with him.
He had no friends either.
No, I know. He was a troll. It's amazing. He got the Indian accent down pretty good, so I was like, well, fuck. This level of effort, I gotta go with it.
I think he was from the place where Three Kings was filmed at. He sounded like that guy. What is wrong with Michael Jackson?
The Indians are like the nice casualty between. In the West, we have, our fights with regarding immigration, and then you have really, really well-mannered, educated, nice Indians, and then all of a sudden they're just like thrown into the cultural war, and we're just like calling them all cheats, and we're making fun of them and their accents, and they're like, oh my god, what did we do? Why do they do this to me? And which is kind of funny. And Indians are just funny because they sound so fucking funny. Like, we all made fun of Arnold Schwarzenegger, not because he wasn't like a white Aryan Chad, but he just like. He spoke English like in a really goofy way.
I had a friend that went over to India a couple times, and he said it's the dirtiest fucking place ever. Like out of all the countries that he's been in, he said India was the worst.
It's
that tracks.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch about India, go look up on YouTube called Bald and Bankrupt. And he's kind of a street shooter. And he'll tell you about, oh, look, more feces with the filthy fucking Indians. He's got some really good video.
There was this guy on X that his name was Barry Stanton or some shit like that. And he was like a young dude, but he had like this old guy's picture for his PTR. And he would just bitch about, like, he would troll, like, Jeets all the time. And, unfortunately his account got nuked, but he was
spot on. That's one thing. And the second thing is, Donald Trump is the greatest president ever. I just want to say that, Jules.
I don't think so, but that's
I'm just talking about, listen, Marshall, he's a former tax guy. So, like, he's a tax nerd. I say that respectfully. I don't know nothing about taxes. He does. So if he's saying he's pissed off over taxes, there's something there.
No, yeah, okay. Well, I'm trying to think of something else. Everything he's done, even if I'm happy with it, there are parts that I'm not happy.
Once
2016, then we upscale to like today, and he like has this lecture and he tries to factor AI into the situation, and it's really interesting to see how that all works out. You can see that there's kind of an inevitability that is in his head. He's like, yes, there is an inevitability to this, but there's also an element of surprise in that the expansion was actually a lot faster than you could have like projected in the past using the same logic, right? Things are happening a lot quicker than they once were. It's not the same.
Is like, you know, it's like breaking the exponential, like, you know, Moore's law kind of stuff. It's like what happened in a year, 10 years ago is happening in like a week now.